verse 6 to 13.
我还是先用中文读，然后大家原用。
We'll read in Chinese and then we'll do English right after.
耶稣在伯大尼长大麻风的西门家里。
While Jesus was in Bethany in the home of Simon the leper,
有一个女人拿着一瓶极贵的香膏来，趁耶稣坐席的时候浇在他头上。
a woman came to him with a alabaster jar of very expensive perfume, which she poured on his head as he was reclining at table.
门徒看见就很不喜悦，说：“何用这样的枉费呢？”
When the disciples saw this, they were indignant. Why this waste us?
这香膏可以卖许多钱，周济穷人。
This perfume could have been sold at a high price and the money given to the poor.
耶稣看出他们的意思，就说：“为什么难为这女人呢？她在我身上做的是一件美事。”
Aware of this, Jesus said to them, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful thing to me."
因为常有穷人和你们同在，只是你们不常有我。
The poor you always have with you, but you will not always have me.
他讲这香膏浇在我身上是为我安葬做的。
When she poured his perfume on my body, she did this to prepare me for burial.
我实在告诉你们，普天之下，无论在什么地方传着福音，也要述说这女人所行的，做个纪念。
Truly, I tell you, wherever this gospel is preached of the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her.
下面我们低头，我们祷告。爱我们的主，我们感谢，我们赞美你，我们感谢你再一次的召集我们聚集在你圣宝座的面前，让我们能够仰望我们的主。 仰望在十字架上为我们流血牺牲的救主耶稣基督，我们真是满了感谢和赞美，因为你的爱在这吸引我们，你的能力在这扶庇我们，你通过和我们的见面，你把你圣经启示我们的话语给我们每个人，我们要再次献上感谢赞美，我们也再次把我们的聚集完完全全仰望在主你自己手中，求你此时此刻。 把你宝贵的圣灵降临在我们中间，并且自由地运行在我们每个人的心里，引导我们进入到你的话语之中。求你帮助我们，看顾我们，也保守和眷顾我们。感谢赞美的话都是奉靠耶稣基督的圣名而求。今天和弟兄姐妹分享的这个信息，这个主题叫香膏。
Today's subject we're going to talk about is that alabaster jar.
但是在这个题目以前，我想了另外一个题目，就是香膏的故事。
Before we enter the subject of today, there is a story of a perfume.
就是我想，香膏和香膏的故事看起来，它们距离不算很大。
Both stories, they are not far from each other.
但是如果讲香膏的故事，可能人家觉得你在这里讲一个故事，好像不是一个讲道的正式题目。
If we just talk about the story itself, it feels like we're not fully embracing the scripture.
所以我就选择了香膏这个题目。
So that's why we don't call it so the title of today's subject matter is not the story of the alabaster jar, but rather just the alabaster jar.
但是当我想到香膏和香膏故事之间的时候，我看一本英语书，这个历史这个字。
So when I look into the book that tells the history of the jar,
可是我一想，这个历史这个字好像就是在一个人在那招呼大家来听故事的意思。
but I also thought that if I said the history of the alabaster jar, it would just be like a storytelling.
所以今天我们读这个经文，其实是一个 非常具有故事情节的这样一个记录的历史。
But the truth is, today's scripture is full of history and story involved, and within that we will learn from scripture.
因为在我们刚才读的这节经文之中，既有时间，又有地址，又有人物，又有事情发展的一个曲折的变化。
So within this little scripture, that the part of scripture we read, there is location, there is people, there is stuff happening, and then there are objects being talked about, and there's a lot of things to unpack.
并且最后有一个结论，就是耶稣所说的话，无论在什么地方传着福音，也要诉说这女人所做的，做个纪念。
And then at the end of the whole story, Jesus also said that no matter where this story is being told to anyone, we'll talk about this in the memory of this woman.
所以我们今天在这里讲这个题目，其实也是按照耶稣的要求，把这个事情再次的和弟兄姐妹分享。
So, like the scripture said, when we talk about these, we're also honoring this woman for what she does.
首先，我们看这件事情发生在一个什么时候。
And first of all, we need to see what time did this whole thing take place.
我们刚才读的这个经文，接下来就有一个犹大出卖耶稣的事情，它两件事情是连在一起的。
So this is right before Judas betrayed Jesus in the Bible. This is right before it.
虽然我们大家都知道有4福音书，有4本不同的记录。
Although we know that there are 4 Gospels in the Bible, and they are written by 4 different people in 4 different point of views.
这几本福音书记录的其实不是完全一致的。
And because it's done by 4 different people, their recordings are not exactly the same.
它是一个讲福音的人根据自己的观众、听众和根据他的情况讲出来的。
So each of the 4 Gospels are written by one of Jesus' disciples, 4 of them. In this case, they're all written by their point of view, of their testimony alongside Jesus.
它不是一本专门写历史的书，但是他要根据自己的观众、听众把这件事情讲给大家听。
So like a testimony, they are portraying their journey with Jesus, and they're telling people in their best ability to present their experience with Jesus.
所以他们讲到这件事情的时候，其实时间有些不一样的地方。
But and there are also time differences when they view time, and they put progressions are a little bit different.
但是那个时间非常的接近。
But these the subject of each of their placements are quite close.
就是当这个女人拿这个香膏浇在耶稣头上后不久，耶稣就被犹大所出卖。
So in all of the books, when they talk about this woman who breaks the jar for Jesus, right after, not far after that, Jesus is betrayed by his disciple Judas.
这是一个时间，再就是一个地点，就是这个地点发生在伯大尼这个地方。
And the location of this happening is at Bethany.
这个伯大尼这个地方就是隔着耶路撒冷不远的一个小的村庄。
The town of the village of Bethany is not far from the Jerusalem. It's like a little town right next to it.
圣经上说差不多有6里路。
And it's about 5 miles apart from Jerusalem. Sorry.
6.
Oh, 6 miles. Did I say 5?
可能这个地方到大布林也是这么一个有6里路嘛。
So from here to Dublin is about that length.
其实是很近的，很近的一个地方。
It's quite close.
这其实这个伯大尼这个字啊，其实是一个塔楼的意思。
So the word Bethany is actually derived from the word tower.
从耶路撒冷往南，有一个 tower， 就是过去一个城市的一个堡垒的城市，是它的防御城。
Not far from the Jerusalem, there is a fortress, and that the word Bethany comes from that fortress next to the town.
好像现在有一个舰队，有一个护卫舰一样，护卫那个主舰。
So just like a fleet of ships, there is the main commanding ship, and then there is a guarding ship next to it. That is Bethany, the fortress city, town. Sorry, the town at the fortress.
所以这个伯但尼这个地方，过去就是耶路撒冷城的一个保卫城。
So Bethany is the first line of defense for Jerusalem.
在这个小的村庄，有一个人叫西门，他过去得过大麻风病。
So there is a guy named Simon in the town of Bethany who used to have leprosy.
圣经的研究者，他们的一致认为，就是耶稣医治了西门的大麻风病，然后他有一颗感恩的心，请耶稣到他的家里。
So a lot of theologians who study the history and the scriptures say that there was a guy named Simon who had leprosy, but Jesus cured it for him. So he invited Jesus to his house for dinner.
耶稣有好几次也到这个伯大尼这个地方来。
Now Jesus had come to Bethany many times in the past.
因为耶稣没有一个住处，在一个固定的地方，所以耶稣要到耶路撒冷城以前，差不多有好几次在这个伯大尼居住过。
So before Jesus come to Jerusalem, he had no home, so he has to come to Bethany many times over.
耶稣除了到这个西门家里，耶稣还到一个人的家里，就是玛利亚的家。
And Jesus does not only come to Simon's house, he also stayed at other people's homes, such as Mary's home.
这个玛利亚是圣经有好几个玛利亚，这个玛利亚就是住在伯大尼的玛利亚。
And there are many Mary, because it's a popular name, like I always tell my students. Mary is a popular name, and this Mary isn't just his mother, but somebody who lives in Bethany.
看到那张图片就是玛利亚的一个弟弟拿撒路从死里复活的照片，的画片。
So
第二张。
this picture is the picture of Jesus rising the Nazareth, which is a person who got revived after he died by Jesus, and this Nazareth is Mary's brother. This Mary's brother.
那个从死里复活的那个拿撒路就是玛利亚的弟弟。
And it is Mary's brother.
玛利亚家有三个人，一个是玛利亚，一个是玛利亚的姐姐嘛。
Martha.
一个就是拿撒路。
Martha. So in Mary's family there are three people. There are Mary, her sister Martha, and her brother Nazareth. And then Jesus saved one of them.
刚才我们读的经文说，这个女人虽然她没有说她的名字，但是一般都认为就是这个玛利亚。
So people don't usually talk about this woman's name, but people usually just assume that this is Mary from Bethany.
当然，在约翰福音就直接的说就是玛利亚。
So if you read the book of John, when this happened, they actually directly just say this is Mary.
当耶稣最后一次到耶路撒冷，就是耶稣知道自己到耶路撒冷被人家抓起来，自己知道这件事情，但是他首先在这个地方落脚。
So before Jesus entered Jerusalem for the last time in his life, he stayed at Bethany, and this is where this whole takes place. The last time he's there, and he's about to be captured there.
所以当耶稣在这个西门家里坐席的时候，玛利亚就拿这瓶极贵重的香膏来浇在耶稣的头上。
So when he does stay, Mary came to the house of Simon, and she broke the alabaster jar, and then she poured it over Jesus' head and poured over his feet.
我们中文圣经说，他是趁着耶稣坐席的时候浇在他的头上，就是抓紧这个有利的时机，这个好的机会浇在耶稣基督头上。
So she strategically picked the right time to have Jesus be anointed by the alabaster jar.
这是一个好的机会，因为耶稣来到这个世界上，这是一个最后的机会。
Because this is the only time she will have the opportunity to do such thing for him.
这个我们大家都知道，耶稣基督，有时候我们在旧约的时候把他称为一个受膏者。
So we know that in the Bible, Jesus is described with many names, and one of them was called the Anointed One.
在那个有名的一个音乐作品中，《弥赛亚神曲》就是把它称为受膏者。
There is a famous song, hymns that sing about Jesus, and in the song, the lyrics calls him the Anointed One.
受膏者，我想马牧师每天现在是希伯来书啊，那个就是讲到耶稣是一个大祭司，耶稣是君王。那个时候，只有这样的人，这样地位的人才能够接受这个受膏。
So in the book of Hebrew, which Pastor Ma usually is doing the morning Bible study for, in that book they talk about Jesus as a great prophet, a great priest, the grand priest, and in it, when people are given such high authority, they are considered the anointed one. And only at that high authority, people can be called the anointed one.
所以这浇在耶稣的头上这个香膏，表示对耶稣的一个尊敬。其实更重要的意义告诉我们，耶稣是真正来到的弥赛亚。
So when she does that, anointing Jesus with the alabaster jar, it's not only a great showing of a great respect to him, but it's also the proclamation of Jesus as the anointed one, the Messiah.
第二个，我们讲讲这个香膏。
And now we're going to talk about the alabaster jar itself.
刚才我们唱一首诗上有一句话说：“生命气息全然为你，入香膏请到。”
So when we sing our prayers, there's a prayer song that specifically talks about the aroma from the jar, and we giving breathe life like aroma of the alabaster jar.
这个用这句话写的非常的切合这个实际的情况。
So that song is actually very reminiscent of the story today.
有在这个约翰福音说这个香膏，在马可福音说这个香膏叫真拿达香膏。
真拿达. So this alabaster jar is also known as the nada jar.
这是拿的家。
A costly ointment of the nard.
这个纳达香膏其实生产在伊朗和这印度的地方。
Oh, so this specific jar, the alabaster jar, is actually part import from India, the land of spice, right?
但是在中国的西藏也出产这个纳达。
But also in Tibet, they also produce alabaster jar.
所以这是一个当时就等于说一个进口的一个极贵重的一个商品。
So you can imagine it is sort of like buying things from a different country. It is an import, an exotic import.
所以我们看刚才马可福音说那是一个真的纳达的香膏，就说明它是珍贵的，是个真正的，不是一个伪造的商品。
So in the book of Mark, is Mark the doctor one? Is he the doctor?
That's Luke.
Oh, that's Luke. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, so in the book of Mark, when they talk about alabaster jar, he calls it a true nada jar, true expensive something. Well, he calls it the true jar of nard because it is not a fake or a imitation, but it's really imported.
一讲到香膏，我就想到现在的化妆品。
When we talk about the alabaster jar, it reminds us about today's equivalent, which is the perfumes.
这个化妆品和香膏是古代传下来，差不多对女的最有吸引力的一件商品。
So the mascara, the perfumes, it has been throughout our history a object of praise and magnetism for the women in every era.
我看每个比较大的商店，差不多最显眼的地方就是这个化妆品。
So when you go to the mall, when you look at different storefronts, the prettiest storefronts is usually the storefront the store that sells perfumes.
所以有很多的家庭，这个女士的那个化妆品有很多。
So some families, they have women who owns many different types of perfumes.
现在我看也有男的也有。
Even today, we have guys who wear perfumes. Sorry, colognes. Sorry.
我们有一天，我们和一个我们认识的一个弟兄聊天，说你用没用化妆品？
So when we talk to our brothers in church, we ask them, "Hey, do you use mascara? Not mascara. Yeah, do you use cologne? In Chinese, they're the same word, so we just call it the. Yeah, we don't have a differentiation between the perfume and cologne.
他说我不用，他说我不用，我都用我家的女儿或者那个他自己的妻子剩下的就够了。
So this brother answered him, I don't buy any of those because I just use whatever's left for my daughter and my wife.
这个情况他一说要和我有同感，我差不多也是这样。
So when he heard it, he goes, oh wow, that sounds familiar because I do the same thing.
我不知道，我可能觉得有很多的人是这样的情况。
But I believe it's not just us. I think there are many people who does these things.
因为我们这个皮肤可以经到那个保湿啊、增白的都没问题，不会。
Oh, our skin is thick, so no matter what kind of chemical we put on, we won't be damaged that easily.
那个古代的时候，这个香膏那么珍贵，其实不能每天都用的。
So in the olden days, the aroma liquid, the alabaster jar, is not something you use every day.
那是他们最重要的时刻才可以用这个香膏的。
So it's only for the occasions they will use it.
可能一个女生啊，她要结婚以前要做很多的事情，就是为了有一瓶珍贵的一个香膏在自己用。
So maybe a woman who will have an alabaster jar, they will save up for an alabaster jar. It's because her wedding is coming up, so she will save up for one jar. So it's for the special occasion of the wedding she would use it.
只有在她要结婚了以前用上这个香膏这样的涂在自己身上。
So maybe for the ceremony, and she will use it.
所以那是非常珍贵，非常珍贵。
So to people at that time, an alabaster jar is very precious and expensive.
所以这里说它是一个极贵重的这个香膏，有的人说这个香膏是一个男的1年的那个工资的钱才能买到。
Holy. So some people actually calculated it's so expensive. It's a man's 1 year salary to buy one of these.
但是也有人说，这一瓶香膏的价钱，差不多等于过去，因为那个是奴隶的时候，可以买一个奴隶。
Oh, so other people who did study also said that this is the kind of jar that it will cost the same as if you want to buy one slave, same price.
所以他这里说，生命气息就等于要把自己最珍贵的拿出来了。
So when we talk about the song that talks about the breath of life, the broken alabaster jar, and it's talking about one person giving giving their all, giving their entire life to pour out this alabaster jar.
本来是为自己准备，现在他看到耶稣基督来到的他们的村庄，他要把他自己全然的为耶稣把香膏已经倒在耶稣的身上。
So as we can see, this action of pouring it out for this woman to do such thing, she's ready to give everything for him.
所以这也表明他和主耶稣基督的一个很好的关系。
And this also demonstrates how close of a relationship they have.
因为我们从圣经可以看到，耶稣使他的弟兄复活了。
So as we look at the Bible story, where Jesus revived her brother, her dear brother, and this is also why she is there to show her gratitude for her respect, to pay her respect.
我们也知道，当耶稣讲论天国福音的时候，玛利亚总是在耶稣的身旁仔细地听这些话语。
And we also know that for many of the stories where they talk about Jesus giving a preaching in their house, Mary's always there listening.
所以她爱耶稣，她和耶稣有这样一个特别的关系。
So she's one of Jesus' best students who listens and who just have this great love for him.
所以她肯将生命气息这样宝贵的香膏倒在耶稣的头上。
And that is why she's willing to give her breath of life for him.
按照我们来想，她和耶稣有这样好的关系，耶稣的门徒应当举手高兴、欢喜、快乐，但是事情不是这样。
And as we know, the reaction of of Jesus' disciple was not a happy, positive one toward the action.
但是他们说，他们看见了不喜悦，就有一个理论说，何用这样的枉费？这香膏可以卖许多的钱，周济穷人。
So the Bible stated the disciples said, "Why this waste? This perfume could have been sold for high price and money to given to the poor."
如果我们安静想一想，人家和耶稣的关系和他们其实没有关系，但是他们现在出来干涉这件事情。
So when we think about the closeness to Jesus and Mary, but the closeness to the disciple and Jesus, there is nothing of a conflict. Supposedly, there should not be conflict.
他们心里不喜悦，他们有一个理论，就是这样做太浪费了，因为可以用这个香膏再卖钱，再去周济穷人，是一个很好的口号。
But there is, because there is a slogan for them to say that the people are wasteful and you could save it to give it to the poor, to do good deeds, right?
世界有很多的事情，就是有一个好的一个招牌，就是可以周济穷人这个好的招牌，掩盖他们心中对这个钱、对这件事情的一个欲望。
So there is slogans out there that says, "Give it to the poor," so that you follow that way, so that you don't have that desire to hoard money.
有的经文，在这个马可福音或者是约翰福音说，那个人其实是犹大。
Oh, there's also a theologian that talks about the person who said this is actually Judas.
可能这个
The one who betrayed Jesus.
最强烈的这个思想是犹大出来，但是别的门徒也有随声附和他的。
So sometimes Judas will call out a strong argument, and then most of the disciples will soon follow.
所以这里说是几个人，不是一个单数，就是犹大自己，别人也随声附和了这个犹大的想法。
So maybe that it's not only Judah who said the first line, but other disciples who followed along to say the next things.
好像他们从一个经济学的角度想这件事情。
So like they're looking at this in a very economic, valued eye to view this thing.
但是和耶稣的关系不能用你自己过去的那个经济学的头脑去想这件事情。
But when you look at Jesus is the things that Jesus do, you can't judge it by your economic standard to see what he does and what happens.
所以耶稣看出他们的意思来。
So that Jesus looking at it and he understood this.
耶稣要为玛利亚辩护。
So this is why Jesus comes out and defend Mary's action.
耶稣说：“你们在这为难这个女人。”
And Jesus said, "Why are you giving this woman a hard time?"
因为她做的是一件美事，不是一个枉费的错事。
Because what she does is a beautiful thing. It's not, it's not wasteful.
因为什么呢？耶稣找到了一个根据，告诉他们：因为穷人常和你们同在，但是你们不常有我。
So in Jesus' argument, her defense, Jesus said, "Well, I'm not going to be here forever with you, but there are always going to be poor people for you to serve them."
我为了准备这个讲章，我去查马太福音、马可福音，我看看这些门徒哪个时候去周济过穷人，没有。
So when I actually wanted to do this sermon, I actually went ahead and read the book of Matthew and book of Mark to see whether or not any of this Jesus' disciple ever was mentioned giving money to the poor, but I couldn't find it.
所以最后我们看到他出卖耶稣基督。用了30两银子，那个银子的钱差和一个香膏的钱差不多。
So the Judas betraying amount that he sold Jesus out for is actually about the same amount. 30
两银子。
30 pieces of silver. It's about the same money that you would pay for a alabaster jar.
当然，这个是一种说法了，还有别的也有这样的说法，但是有一种说法是这样。
So there are many theologians that describe things to give us a better picture of these the amount, the money amount, and what it meant at the time, and this is one of the way they describe them.
所以那时候耶稣告诉他们，他为我做这件美事，是因为我就要被卖，我就要为众人的原因被钉在十字架上，为我埋葬做准备。
So this is why Jesus, at the time, Jesus told the disciples, saying that she's prepared me for the burial because I'm about to die for you all, and she's the only one who is preparing for my burial.
如果我们想到耶稣基督复活的时候，这些妇女看到，他们也准备拿香膏去膏抹耶稣的。
So when we read the parts of Bible where Jesus is coming back to life after being buried for 3 days. These women who goes to see Jesus is also carrying jars of perfumes for him. They were about to do the same thing, but after he died.
但是那个时候耶稣复活了，不需要了。
So by that time, Jesus does not need it anymore because he's back to life. So.
所以那一次就是唯一一次的耶稣的受膏，是他趁着有一个好的機會交在耶穌的。
And this is why Mary is the only person who get to anoint Jesus with the alabaster jar.
所以这是一件美事。
So this is a beautiful thing.
是一个值得纪念的事情。
And it's worth review, worth mentioning, worth celebrating over.
所以耶稣在那个时候要告诉他周围所有的人，我实在告诉你们，普天之下无论在什么地方传这福音，也要诉说这女人所行的，做个纪念。
And this is why Jesus said to the disciple, I tell you the truth, wherever this gospel is preached throughout the world, that she has done, what she has done will also be told in memory of her.
所以今天我们在这里学习这个经文，分享这个经文的信息，我们其实也要学习这个女人玛利亚所做的事情。
So what we're learning today is the action of Mary and what she's doing to pour out her life for Jesus.
我们应当像她一样，真是把生命气息全然的交在耶稣基督的身上。
And we, like her, we should give our all.
这整本的刚才这个整本的这个故事，其实玛利亚一句话也没有说。
And if you notice, during the entire story, she didn't say a thing.
一方面，她只是做出来这件事情，表达她自己对主的一种爱。
One way to view it is that she is just doing the action to show her gratitude, her respect, and the love of Jesus.
她可能不太善于表达，但是耶稣为她说出了她做的事情。
So maybe she is not very good at representing herself or explaining herself, so that Jesus is there to explain for her.
我们纪念，像耶稣告诉我们一样，纪念玛利亚所做的这件事情，其实也让我们能够学习她。
So let's in memory of Mary and what she does, so that we may follow her action to give all.
她真是全然的为了主。
She is truly giving her all to Jesus.
如果我们每个人也想到我们自己和主的关系，我们是不是也应当有一个感动，让我们把生命气息全然为耶稣基督。
And sometimes when we review ourselves, can we live our life for Christ and live out His way?
如果我们有了全然为主，我们可能在很多的人的非议之下，我们也能够站立得住。
So maybe when we are doing things for others, when we're being viewed wrong, perhaps we can stood solid. We could stand on solid ground even when we're being persecuted, wrongly accused.
这是和耶稣的关系建立在爱的基础，也是建立在信心的基础之上。
So the foundation of love that Mary has with Jesus is a solid one. So we all have that solid foundation in our life, so we know how to give all to Jesus, even when people may view it wrong.
求神祝福他自己的话语。
And may God bless His own words.